Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again. I'm bringing you a project today that we were shown at a recent team meeting. All Stampin' Up demonstrators become part of a team, and indeed some are parts of more than one team because you work in levels of teams. And this was a project that we were shown by one of my lovely co-demos, the lovely Gilly Hunt, who's based in Worcester. And she showed us this project at a recent team meeting. It was about a week ago. And at those meetings, we have far too many cakes and sweets and biscuits to eat. And we share projects with each other, and we talk a bit about running a business or what you're doing as a hobby demo. And also we have a make and take, and this was the make and take that Gilly shared with us, really as a what you can do to if you're trying to demonstrate without using anything messy, so ink and glue and those sort of messy things. And she told us a wonderful story about how she came up with this project, which I won't share with you because it might embarrass her to share it, so I shan't. Anyway, this also is an example of a £45 project, which obviously during sale-a-bration, we're all looking for what makes £45 so that we can get more £45 freebies, or freebies with each £45 that we spend on product, because during sale-a-bration, for every £45 you spend, or multiple thereof, so 90, etc., you get to pick a free item from the sale-a-bration catalogue, which is jam-packed full of all sorts of lovely things. Here is the current catalogue. There are more things coming in on the 21st of February, so it's worth bearing in mind that if you've bought everything you want, that means you get everything you want out of this one. There's more coming, so that'll be something to look forward to. And there are some lovely bits in here, and I showed you in one of my earlier videos a project using, she says trying to find it, ignore the stickies, these are all the things that I want, Tasty Trucks, which are great fun, I think. One of my other team members has asked if anyone has done a video on how to make the 3D truck. I have actually made the truck. I just need to work out how to do it on a video without it taking too long and without me slicing my fingers off. So it can be done. Watch this space. I'm issuing myself a challenge. So yes, do remember. Sorry, I was flicking through, wasn't I? Do remember that. All of these items you can get without parting with a further penny if you spend £45 or a multiple thereof during sale-a-bration, which runs through till the 31st of March. And also remember that you still get your stamping rewards. And in fact, if you either spend yourself or you host a party that has sales of over £200, you get an extra £20 of rewards. Over and above the standard stamping rewards, which run the more you spend, the higher percentage you get. Also, and a quick reminder that on this, perfect time to join my team, the starter kit, you get £130 of product, which you're allowed to choose, whatever you want, for £99. That's the normal deal. That includes postage and packing, so you don't have to pay for that as well. But during sale-a-bration, you get to throw in 2 free stamp sets, and they're not the ones out of here. They're the ones out of either the annual or the new occasions catalogue. So just whichever ones you want out of either of those 2 catalogues. And the highest amount that you would be able to add, because they've worked it out for us, if you choose the right stamp sets, you could add £93 to the value of what you're buying. So you could get over £200 worth of product for just £99. And you don't even have to demonstrate. You don't have to run workshops, you don't have to run classes, you can just buy for yourself. So that's brilliant. And if you happen to not be able to afford to buy sufficient to keep going as a demonstrator, there's no penalty if at the end of the first full quarter, and we run in normal quarters, so January through March and then April through May, June even. So if you were to join now, you would have through until the end of June to hit your minimums, and if you don't, then you just stop being a demonstrator, and that's it really. So yes, don't worry about that. So enough waffle. How do we make this project? It's super easy, and I'll go through what we're going to use first, so that you can see that comes to £45. So that was the Moroccan designer series paper on Sahara sand, which is one of the colours that goes with that. We are going to be using things from the Party Animals suite, and this is in the new Occasions catalogue. It's really bright, really fun, really funky, and you've got stamps and dies and paper and card and washi tape and ribbon and embellishments. We're not going to use all of that because that would be more than £45, but obviously if it's more than £45, if it's a multiple, you get 2 items from sale-a-bration. But if you're looking at spending, the £90 mark, get the starter kit and add more. It's much the best deal. So what we're going to be using is the paper stack, which I have, as you've seen, already cut into. And this is, as I say, it's fun, it's funky, it's just great for adults and teenagers, I think, in particular, but kids as well. So you can see the other side. We've got numbers. We've got just a fairly plain background, parcels, balloons. That's the other side of the spots. So that was the numbers, which you've seen already. Then we've got the crosses, which have got candles, and the one we're going to use today, which is this one with candles and cake. So that's that. And I mentioned in one of my previous videos that we also do multicoloured card packs. So rather than having to buy one pack of card, you can buy, rather than having to only buy one colour in a pack of card, you can get card that is in multicolours, either a whole colour collection or the in colours, or you can get the card that matches. So this is the Party Animal card pack, which goes with the paper stack, and on the back of the paper stack, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, let me see if I can get this out, so you can see on the back here, it's in all the languages, it's got the colours that are used in the paper. It's one of the great things with Stampin' Up, if you don't already know, that if it says here that it's using crushed curry, and that's one of those yellow colours that can be quite difficult to match up, if it says crushed curry, then you can use anything that's crushed curry and it will go. We've also got Emerald Envy, Crumb Cake, Pacific Point, Tangerine Tango and Whisper White in here. So those are the colours that are used in the designer series paper. And then in the card pack, we've got Emerald Envy, Crushed Curry and Crumb Cake. And if I bring in the paper that we're going to use for today's version of this project, this is Crushed Curry, which you can see matches absolutely perfectly with the card. And if I turn it over, this is the Crumb Cake, which it's not going to be terribly clear, but that again matches. And there's little flames here, which are crushed curry again. So we're using the paper, the card. We're also using the ribbon, and this is a 1/8 taffeta ribbon in Emerald Envy. And again, you can see that matches absolutely perfectly. And then we are also going to use these cute little, they call them just embellishments, but they're like little charms. And hopefully you can see, you get 16 of these, 8 of each of the 2 designs. So you've got the hat and the balloon. So we're going to use those from the Party Animal Suite. And we're also going to use, because this coordinates with the punches, we're going to use the Balloon Bouquet punch. This is in the annual catalogue, and this, as I say, matches with the 3 of the stamps in the stamp set. And you can see, oh, I'm terribly sorry, knocked the tripod there. You can see in the catalogue, if you look, you will see that there are some of these images for the stamps are on coloured backgrounds, so grey and a sort of creamy colour. And that means that they're telling you what die or punch they match with. Now this is slightly confusing because it says these two are in grey and they say it matches with the pop-up Thinlits die, which they do. And this one, it says it matches with the Balloon Bouquet punch, which it does, but they all match with both. So it's worth just bearing that in mind. So let us begin. And as I say, I thank Jilly for this project. I am going to change it slightly, because why wouldn't you? And show you how to do it. So we are starting with a piece of crumb cake cardstock, which is 8 by 4. I'll have the measurements on my blog, and I'll put the metric measurements on my blog as well. So it's 8 by 4 scored in half to make a 4 by 4 base. Just a scrap of Emerald Envy and a piece of cardstock that's, I want to say 3 by 3. Yep, 3 by 3. And that's just to go in the middle so you can have something to write on. So what do? We get a pencil, and with our cardstock, and this is one of the things I love about the grid paper, which you can also get, what we're going to do is measure, find the middle, and this is probably easier if I do it this side. This is 6 by 6. You can do it any size, you just need to up or down the measurements accordingly. So find the middle and just mark, and we're going to mark on all the sides, and then having done that, we're going to go 3/4 of an inch out from each of those marks. And because we've now got the marks and we're on grid paper, we don't even have to measure because it's on the grid paper already. So 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, and then we are going to need a ruler for this. From there, we're going to measure up 3/4 of an inch. Might be easier if I used a bit of the ruler that's got slightly fewer markings on it. So 3/4 of an inch. And actually what you can then do, what you're going to do is you're going to cut that triangle out. So you just cut that, and then what you can do so that you don't have to put extra marks on your paper is you can then take this, and if we turn it over it'll be easier. We take this and put it on the edge where we've got the other markings and just use that as a template. And again, thanks to Jilly for that tip, top tip, Jilly's top tip of the evening. And in fact we only need to do the one, because having done one you can then just cut the other. And then again, just cut up. I'm just making sure you can actually see that. It's just about, and actually I'll do this one and then I'll go back and do the other cut, because it will be easier to get rid of our little piece before I then do the other cut. So there you are. We're all, as demos, we're all getting terribly excited at the moment. We've just been, there's every 6 months there's a convention where as many of us get together as possible to have a look at all the new products that are coming out. And we all get a bit dizzy over it because we are, after all, crafters. That's just, I'm just going to rub out the marks. The booking for that has just launched for the April event. which is going to be in Amsterdam, and there's a whole bunch of us going over, and we're getting really excited about it. So, and it's one of those things that you can't get to unless you're a demonstrator. But even if you're a hobby demonstrator, you can go, and it's just great fun. And I say we become really dizzy about all the new products. So what we're doing, we're going to take, again, it's going to be easier to show you here. We're going to take that corner and just fold across there. So I'm going to do it from this side because I want the crushed curry, my brain's going, side to be out. So yes, so we're all busy Facebooking each other on our, we've got private Facebook pages for our team, and we're all busy Facebook messaging each other with, have you booked, and where are you staying, and how are you getting there? And we've got until April to keep being terribly dizzy and terribly dippy about it, but I say we're all terribly excited and can't wait. And it's the live event in Amsterdam, so some of you may have watched the video that I put together about the event I went to in November in Telford, which it's live in that, you know, we're all there, but it's a shorter event, and a lot of the stuff is recorded from the live event. And this April, the live event is in Amsterdam, so we're all going, which is, as I say, terribly exciting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this edge here, and again I'm going to show you this side and then do it the other side, this edge here, and fold it to the crease. And you either need to do them all one way or all the others, by which I mean you either fold them all that way or you fold them all that way. But basically you're just going to go round, and you can then... Oh, and I've done that wrong. Other way. Sorry, you're taking this side and you're folding it out because you want the different pattern. So you can then just, actually if I do it this way, it'll work. So I don't have to fiddle around at the end. So just keep going round and folding those. Oops, that's not at all straight. I'll tell you it's an easy project and then make a mess of it, but that's because we're none of us perfect. And then this one again, fold, and yeah, I haven't done a brilliant job of my triangles, but we can sort that out before we put it together. So I'm just going to recheck this one, and that's where my problem is. I didn't fold that properly in the first place. So make sure that's lined up there as well as there, and then that one is okay. That one we need to trim a bit off, and that one is okay, but I just need to trim, there's a little bit sticking out there, so let's trim that off, and there's a little bit sticking out there, so we'll trim that off, but we've still got a nice straight line, so that's fine. So this one we will tuck in underneath here, but before we do that, if you want to write a secret message, you can put it on your 3x3 piece of card, or you can stamp, and then you put that in the middle, and then all you do is take your final piece and tuck one in t'other, and you've got your nice little windmill. And then that you're going to stick into the middle of your card. And you can use tear and tape, you can use snail, you can use fast fuse if you want. I wouldn't recommend Tombow because this is only paper, but I'm going to, just for speed, use snail. I am going to use a reasonable amount because if people are going to open it up, there is going to be quite a lot of playing with it. Tear and tape is probably the best thing, but snail's easier for the video. So there we are. Don't do what I've just done, which is give yourself a paper cut. Just shows how good the paper is. Then we are going to take our Emerald Envy cardstock, pop it into the punch, and these are, if you don't know, they fold flat, which is great for storage, and then at the end you can, I have mine in a drawer, so they all stand up on their ends, and I can see what the punch is, or you can stack them, and again you can see and then they've got the image on the top. And to open it up, you just push the little lever through and pop in your cardstock. What I would say is that when you get a new punch, I would use it on some scrap paper first, because as part of the manufacturing process they put a grease on it, so you want to make sure that that doesn't come off on your card. So that's those done, and then we're going to get one of our little, I think we'll use the balloon embellishments, and then yeah, we'll have that dangling down, I think. So we are going to take a piece of our Emerald Envy ribbon, got a point at one end, pop that through the hole, probably need to make that a little sharper point, pop that through the embellishment and pull it through, and then let's see if we have that there, and to make sure that it's actually on one of the flaps so that it doesn't interrupt the opening. Let's see, let's pop it there. So cut our ribbon so that it's about the right length to go behind the balloon. That's that, get rid of that. And then I'm going to attach this with fast fuse, just so that I know that it's going to, actually that's probably the better side to use, just so that I know that it's going to stay stuck. And I'm going to be careful where I put my fast fuse, and remember, fast fuse, the key to that is the gentle touch, and then a little flick at the end. I will actually just put another little bit just coming down, and then I'm going to take the ribbon and split it so that both bits are attached to the fast fuse, trim the ends so that they're not going to be seen, bit more fast fuse over the top of that and up there, and then take that and attach it, making sure that you don't get fast fuse on the wrong bit. And there you are. And obviously if you had the stamp set you could stamp there, but it's still, just to prove it does still open up, so you can then just pop it all back together again, but it gives you the secret message option to pop in the middle. So there you are. I hope you've enjoyed that, and as I say, that's another of my £45 sale-a-bration kit ideas. As I say, thank you to Gilly Hunt for the basic project, and I will link all the dimensions and everything into the blog post, which will be linked below. I'll also add in the join my team link, so that if you do want to consider joining my team, I've got lots of FAQs on my website, which are basically the long list of questions that I had when I joined. And there'll also be a link to the items or to my shop in the post. If you've enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.